that's out there, the oysters, for go. Yes, snails, okay? If your hand's gonna be hot, so you grab it, use a little onion soup, soup à l'oignon. You could have, which is basically the French,
They look so yummy. I also feel like I was just salivated. Look, I wish I could just put my hand inside this video and take the food, and oh my. Hello friends, welcome to the channel. And if it's your first time here, hi, I'm Jasmine. And to you, my amazing returning subscribers, thank you so much for what you do for me. And today I bring you an amazing video from Water's World. And the title of this video is The Best French Food. So if you're traveling to France or you're just got into France and you do not know what to eat, this video is for you. Without further ado, let's dive right into this amazing video.
Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Water's World, and today we're here in Paris, and today we're going to talk about are the most French food that you can have when you're here in Paris. And I'll be honest, these are like the French staples that you can find all over the country, but if you want to make sure you hit like the most important things, these are it. But I have to warn you, if you're coming to France, every region has their own specialties. So if you're going to Normandy, it's going to have some different specialties, like the cider that's out there, the oysters, versus if you're going to go to Nice in the south with the different seafoods they have down there. So just want to give a heads up. So this is kind of like your go-to Frenchiest of the French food to have when you're here. And if you're looking for a starter, you can't get more French than escargot. Yes, snails, okay? If you haven't had snails before, they're fantastic. And the thing is, they're just drowned in butter when you're here and you have them. And they'll give you this weird little contraption to hold it because that pan's gonna be hot. So you grab it, use a little fork, poke them out, eat them. Kids love them, adults love them, everyone loves them. If you haven't had them before, you're gonna find them on menus all over Paris, so get that. Another good starter, or if you're not really super hungry, you're looking for something just to keep you going until a great dinner at night, is of course French onion soup, or as they call it here, just onion soup, soup à l'oignon. You could have that, and what it is like you have the beef broth with the onions in there, and there's bread and the cheese on top, and oh my god, it's so good. But I will tell you, when you get it, be careful, because when you kind of poke it through the cheese and through the bread to get to the soup, it's going to be like boiling hot. So be aware of that if you're going to get it for your kids, okay? Or for yourself, because I've lost a few taste buds over the years over being too excited for my French onion soup, okay? Now, another kind of quickie you can get when you're here, and you'll actually see it on the trains, on the SNCF trains as well, is the croque monsieur, which is basically the French ham and cheese sandwich, but like grilled ham and cheese sandwich, and it's fantastic. You got bread, ham, cheese, it's like Gruyere over top, or Emmental. Like, people use different cheeses on it, but it is so good. But you're not really always going to eat it with your hands. You might cut it with a fork and knife sometimes, especially if you get it for kids or on the train. I would recommend that to keep your hands from getting all the greasiness there. But that's a very easy, like, typical snack thing you're going to see. Now, if you want another really good snack that you might get at a bakery, or you might get at a shop or a bistro, quiche Lorraine, okay? This is a ham and cheese quiche, all right? It is the most popular quiche. It is the go-to quiche to have when you are here. And you can get it as a slice, you can get a little version of it, you get a whole one, whatever you want. But you'll see that a lot of places, and I do recommend you getting it. It's actually one of the foods I require myself to have when I first come here. So when we got here the other day, I went to the bakery and I got myself a croissant and a piece of quiche Lorraine, because it is a must when you're here. And speaking of those croissants, that is another thing you should have. You need to go to a bakery when you're here, and there's three things I recommend getting. One, get a butter croissant. Look, it is better than any crescent roll you had back home. You want to have one of those. Then there's pain au chocolat, which is basically a chocolate croissant. It is fantastic. You want to have that. And then you just want to grab a baguette. And I know it sounds silly when people say, oh, just grab a baguette and cheese and sit out here on the Seine or on the river and look at and take in the sights. Really, the baguettes here are that good. The bread is fantastic here, okay? So grab a baguette and some butter, and honestly, that can be a lunch because it's so good. But if you want to spice up the lunch a little bit, another thing you have to have when you come here are the cheeses. And you'll see the fromagerie, the cheese shops around. And so you can go, it's literally like there'll be a bakery here, and there'll be a cheese shop here, and maybe a butcher in between. And you can get your meat, your cheese, and your bread. all together. And there's tons and tons of great cheeses from all over France. Just pick one that looks good to you, or two or three, and have that. But the cheeses that are here are unbelievable, okay? Now, if you're looking for another quick snack when you're going by, I know I'm talking about the bakery stuff a lot, but they're important, are tarts. There's tarte tatin, which is a like apple tart, but Jocelyn's favorite is the lemon tart, or tarte de citron, which is fantastic. I like pear tarts. So you have a lot of these little sweet, cakes you can have, which are wonderful, or tarts, I should say. And I know if we're talking about sweets and nice little easy things to eat, I think one of the ones that's really important, my kids would probably kill me if I did not tell you about it, is just grabbing a crepe on the street, getting a crepe with Nutella inside. It is one of those must-haves when you're here in Paris, and you'll see the creperies all over. You can go inside and you can have the crepe with Nutella, the sweet one, or you can have a galette, which is a savory one. You can do that as well. So there's lots of different options for you, but that is one thing you need to have no matter where you are in Paris or France. If you're looking for more of a sit-down meal kind of thing, of course, there's always steak frites, so steak entrecôte with fries. It sounds silly, but it sounds simple, but it's fantastic. That's always a great go-to. Really great beef here in France and in Paris, okay? Another great one is duck, the confit de canard, which is probably the best. It's like slow roasted duck. Oh my God, it is incredible. And when you have that when you're here, everything is better with everything is better in the world. And then if you're here in Paris, look, France is wine. And when you're here in Paris, you'll have the option to buy wines from all over the country. And so please do that. Enjoy the French wines when you are here, because even if you're just sitting at a cafe having a glass of wine with your croque monsieur, or just a little snack, it is something that just makes you feel like you're here in Paris. Okay, so another thing you're going to see is quite famous here is foie gras, which is goose liver pate basically. And some people have very strong feelings about it, but it's something you can have when you are here. I know I've had it multiple times. What you'll get the pate, and they'll give you some bread. You put it on there, maybe with a little jam or a chutney on it as well. It could be fantastic. And there's just so many great foods you're going to have when you're here. And I got to let you know, when you go out to eat in France or in Paris, I mean, there's so many options you have that asking someone where's a good place to eat is like asking what air should I breathe. It's all good, okay? So you have a lot of options. One thing I will say is if you're going to come to eat in Paris, if you're going to be here on weekends, make sure you make a reservation for dinner, because the restaurants book out. And restaurants might not have like every 15-minute sittings. It might be, we have a 7 o'clock sitting and a 9 o'clock sitting, okay? So if you have kids, realize that some of the restaurants don't serve it like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Their kitchen might not be open. That's why some of those snacks I talk about, those are gonna be easier to get during the day. So be aware of that. Also, know when you go to eat in France, it's not about fast eating. Yes, they have Quick, which is their version of McDonald's, which actually is awesome. If you're looking for fast food, Quick is great. But honestly, you need to have patience when you're here, getting your menu, sitting down, getting your food, getting your water, getting your appetizer and your main course and your desserts that you have to have every course, because it's French and you're going to love it. But you have to have patience with it, okay? So be aware of that. And also, I know I said get reservations on the weekend, but if you're here in the summer during tourist season, it actually wouldn't be a bad idea to make reservations during the week as well, okay? So I've got a little hungry talking about all this, and it's about 1 o'clock, so I need to go grab myself maybe some French onion soup, or maybe I'm gonna go get the duck. I think I'm gonna go for the duck today. Anyway, I wish y'all the best. Have a great time here in Paris. If you want more, we've got safety advice for Paris, the don'ts of Paris, scams of Paris, tourist traps of Paris. Basically, anything you want to know from getting to CDG to Paris and more, we've got on our website at waltersworld.com, or just find us here on YouTube and put in Paris Walters World. Lots of stuff will show up. So thank you to all our patrons and members who help make honest travel videos like this possible. If you want to learn how to, go to patreon.com/WaltersWorld to find out more.
Thank you so
Bye
much.
From here in Paris.
This is amazing. I love all the snacks, the sit-down food. I really would like to try all this food. I want to know how they taste. One thing I also want to learn how to do is baking. Baking those snacks. They look so yummy. I also feel like I was just salivated. I wish I could just put my hand inside this video and take the food, and oh my goodness, I'm definitely gonna try this food when I get to France. Definitely gonna try this food. So thank you so much for the word, and thank you so much, my amazing friends, for staying this long with me. I'll see you again.